Good evening, everybody across the nation, around the world, wherever you may be. This is the NECA King, and today I want to talk about something a little special. I'm going to make it quick. I just want to give a big, fat shout out to NECA for making all this TMNT, for making all the ridiculous stuff. I was walking around Ross and seeing the things that people have been talking about in the retrospectives. And even myself, I was kind of like cracking on NECA for the Beach Bros and everything. And they did kind of fall victim to like sniffing their own farts a little bit with the deep cuts, but the deep cuts existed, and it just kind of hit me all at once yesterday or the day before. Like, these motherfuckers made 2 belly bombs. I had never even heard of belly bomb before I started collecting NECA, because like, even though I was part of Turtle Mania, like I grew up with the Turtles, but there's so much stuff that I didn't know, because my influence with the Turtles was the video games, the cartoon, and the movies. I didn't read any comics. I didn't have any peripheral stuff. And basically, if it happened in Ninja Turtles after 1994, I didn't fucking know it happened until I started collecting years later. So my point is to say that NECA took a huge risk, a huge financial risk, doing all this creative shit. They put so much shit on the line for us that, you know, like just grabbing around my desk right now, like I got Old Man Raph. They made multiple slashes. I can't grab that slash because it's got museum wax on it. Just like grabbing around my desk right now, the Lawson Turtles, like, you know, basically the Turtles from the NES cartridge, like all the fucking Turtles. They have the movie Turtles, the Toon Turtles, the 2012 Turtles, all these variants, the Stump Wrestling Turtles, the arcade Turtles, and then just like the stuff that came out, like recently, like a lot of cracking and a lot of ball busting about like some of the choices that they made here at the end, especially with the Mirage line, like characters that no one's ever heard about. Even people who like deep cut Mirage enjoyers, they're like, oh yeah, that guy, he's in like one panel. And like, on one hand, like in the event of losing the license, we can bust their balls for this shit, and we can say, look at all the shit that you made that, you know, we would have rather had X, Y, and Z, but you spent your time in plastic making A, B, and C, and we're, you know, that's not what we wanted. But like, I don't know if NECA really expected to lose the license like this. I think that they made, like, the choices that they were making, it looks like they kind of expected to have like another 5 years of this, because they were getting into some deep cuts. And what I want to say is, I'm rambling a lot, but what I want to say is, I appreciate these deep cuts. I appreciate that there's fucking 2 Rennets. I appreciate that they're going out on a Tempestra. I appreciate that they, you know, in some way, even though it's a waste, I appreciate that they did like 8 Punk Turtles. Like, you know, that they were sitting down and they were said, oh wait, in the cartoon, the Punk Turtles make 2 different appearances and they wear 2 different outfits. And it is ridiculous for us to make 8 fucking Punk Turtles, okay, that nobody wants. But we're going to commit to it to the point where we like do everything, not almost everything accurately. There are a couple of users that will chronically point out all the tiny inaccuracies, but you know, that's like dedication to not just the source material, but to the autism of the people who are actually collecting it. They know that motherfuckers are going to be picky and be like, actually, Leonardo appeared in a black jacket as a Punk Turtle as well as a brown jacket, so why don't we have the black jacket version? And they went ahead and fucking made that stuff for us. So there's one way to think of it, which is the cynical way that I've been kind of putting out there, which is like, look at all this crazy shit that they did that doesn't matter, or that like nobody knows about. Like, think about your average person walking through Target. Your average person walking through Target is only even vaguely aware of the Ninja Turtles in general, okay? It's not 1992 anymore. It's not fucking Turtle Mania. Your average person is like, oh yeah, Ninja Turtles? Oh, yeah. Does one of them wear a red headband? You know, like, and they don't know. They're not going to understand that there's like 5 versions of Leatherhead. You know what I mean? Like a Leatherhead's never going to sell well to the general public. You understand? Or a fucking Mutagen Man, or like some 2-pack with these random Jersey Red. Dude, that was one of the things that blew my mind when I started collecting, was that they had all these cartoon characters like Jersey Red and Tall Thug and Short Gangster and shit. And even back then I was saying to myself, who the fuck is this for? Like this is for such a specific group of people that it's just like not sustainable as a mass marketed product. I saw that like 2.5 years ago when I first started collecting this shit, and I saw some of the things that were in the Toon line. I was like, who the fuck is buying this? Like, how do you support a company off of selling what, like 1,000 toys, like 1,000 boxes of a toy? How many boxes of Jersey Red and Tall Thug and Short Gangster do you think actually sold? I think that they should release sales numbers just like for music, like back in the 90s when we had the Billboard charts and that still mattered. They would tell you how many units shipped to a store, and you didn't really know beyond that. Stores didn't actually report sales data, but they reported how many they ordered, and they should do that for toys. We should know exactly how many of these things ship and exactly how many of these things sell, because like how many fucking Jersey Reds sold? But NECA did that for us. NECA was like, you know what they would really enjoy? Is some fucking deep cuts from the first few episodes of the Toon show. So that they can like recreate and that's just it. Is that like, what do you do with Tall Thug and Short Gangster once you have them? They don't have any presence on the shelf. Nobody who has seen the cartoons even fucking remembers those things. So where do you put them on your shelf? Like I struggle. My shelves are all fucked up right now because I'm resetting everything. But I struggle to find room for the stuff that I have that I love. Like the stuff that I really truly love, I struggle to find room for. And there's thousands of more other figures and things to collect. And at my most cynical, I have always busted NECA's balls for this. But now that it's going away, I kind of understand, like, they did that. Like, the creative team did that for two reasons. Number one, to set themselves apart as a creative group that will do things that nobody else will touch. And number two, to alleviate the autism of the core market, who actually does want these things. Like the 1,000 people in the world that do want these things, they made them for. And they took a financial hit off of it. You know, all this shit showing up at Ross, they didn't want that. They didn't make these figures to sell them for $16. They made them to sell them for $35. So in the end, to make a long story short, I want to thank NECA for having the balls to do these deep cuts. It may have been fodder for comedy over the years. It may have resulted in a lot of shelf warming. But, dude, like, I'm sitting in front of the first Sketch Turtles. And these are much maligned. These are the ones that Gary Dolan was talking about in that little segment that I bust his balls for. But, these were always destined to be shelf warmers. These are a version of the Ninja Turtles that nobody knows about. Not only that nobody knows about, but they're actively confusing to somebody who like has a vague recollection of Ninja Turtles. Like, wait, there's two of them, and they're like, one of them's small and one of them's big. It's like, no. This was back when there was one Ninja Turtle, and it was conceived by the two different authors of it. So one of them looks different than the other because they did them both at the same time, and then they took that and they combined it into, and the average person's brain just fucking reels. You can see the slot machine going in their eyes. Ding, 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 ding. Like, they don't know what the fuck you're talking about. NECA released thousands of these things. And they did it for us. Like, that's amazing. That's amazing. They took such a gamble, and it didn't fucking work out. But even if they had been successful with these things, Mattel still would have taken the license. So it doesn't matter. But what matters is that when they had the license, they proved that they would take risks, and they would do cool shit, and they would do stuff that nobody ever did before and probably is never going to do again. Just look at the variety, look at the deep cuts that they did. And, you know, we did miss out on a couple things. A couple things didn't happen, but hey, man, I'll skip a Vanilla Ice doll and a Paige Turco April for all this other shit that we got. Thank you, NECA. Thank you, creative team, Trevor and Randy. I don't really know you guys. They kind of hired you without my permission, even though I'm the NECA King. I never really met you or anything, but you did a great job, and I commend you. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for listening in. This is the NECA King. We are still doing the Summer Sizzler. Summer Sizzler's going to the end of August, okay, buddy? And we'll be going all throughout the end of the year. I love you guys very much. I will see you around the trail on the NECA King.